All right, this is the debate with Munufi and Ghana Yante Asempa, former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, Edaya, on sorry, Otoa Nananom, Ewan Siedo, Otoa, Ni Kunu, Ni Domu, Ni Chucho Mucho, former President J.J. Rawlings, Ewo, and Siedo. And there, Yababa Yen and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings a ye na Yakan Sempa, Edia for Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. So Nipa Brain said Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. NDC, the formation of NDC and Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings play key and vital role in it. Again, in shaping the democracy of Ghana, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings play key and active role in it. In table for to was and Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. If you are, it is some ahodoa person our Ghana so a best minority a person shifting LGBTQ plus 1 or 2 the president of the land. Empene Emasajan Damno Enkoso. You bring you proof. I actually say NPP any play those kind of tricks in our president so. So we are going to deal with this kind of matter and then please take your time now into us. This is the debate with Munufi. For that year near Yantia Sempa, Senator Medical Kanye, former First Lady Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. It came to us as a shock. Mami, say when you're 76-year-old. But I think say Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, na ye mubi no expect say mami, and ne better say ye mami enka ye hobim. That was one of the shock. When I heard the news initially, I didn't even believe it. Until say I went round to cross-check from different media, who say Ampa and because he say, when near that's your BBC reporting, then I go to see say Ampa and Okre. And who say the president of the land, President John Dramani Mama, a Genesim Piso, Aka, Asi, Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, it will a minute of silence.
This afternoon I received a delegation of the children of our late mother Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings to inform me about her untimely and unfortunate passing. I'll ask that we rise and pay a moment's silence to her memory.
All right, this is what presidents pay a moment of silence. Edema the Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. President la bibia boko de. Woji de say ya tiasi yines ya boy ho ban. De bia me ka say omama wu kon de some of them got a very simple death. Death enye simple but I think say one konye plane crash and as accident bia nkwa ma oti ante na sebe ultimate da boko na say you pass on to the next generation. I think say adea you be no maybe adea everywhere no. But you know, some people's death is so shocking. Say the way a death on the Tibano, or dream will be what na one casano, a sign how I drink a crap. But Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings did. The woman say, how you know, mommy, a call peacefully. I think say that is something you will be educated. The last time I saw Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, Asante Hema, a year say, enemy who Nana Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. That was the last time I met many who in public.
Anomali kwe soni na mama krawa ko bempa mesime don halo ni same what is nyanya no akati ofu obi kon fa ba so ma mo ko ya dance obi kon fa ba so ma mo ko ya dance I prefer jump on to banana we no reach me don ga to da so na wono so
That was the last time I remember Nihunu Yamame and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings in public. Now, here, Mammy, Funyi, Yamidi, Guya. If you have better than Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, or ya buyer, no to Mr. Mammy, no Jenna. So, she played an active role in Ghana. Mammy, you know, it will be a Sebi Ghana, dear. Untimini democracy, and Yin and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings in Sinchain. Where some of these pictures that were Bill How and then a ma, ten and kama. Mountain stage and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings a play Robia Ghana and ma most of laws ne yeah a cover and ma and then on Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings any player ye be ko bi mu ni pa brain so nim say Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings a true book and kasa. It takes a woman, a life shaped by heritage, leadership, and the woman who defined hope. And Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and kasa true book but just open book ibiata with the link to the description of this particular video. Ubetimi order electronic one and as a digital one and as a paper version. Now also whatimi kind. Because sometimes we need to go back and then cross check near Ghana penny phobinum aye de ja yeti so eho. So nipa we brain him say na Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings e book kra. But you know we need to go back and then go and then recheck all these kind of things. So about Juma na Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings in fact why are there? So what I'm gonna do now is say me do go through some of the things that Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings MIECP, the destiny of our dear nation. Many people do not know. I will take you through about 6 or 7 things that Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings Ghana me fi say any ebeje na ho kama pa. Ya mami was the first lady of Ghana in 1979. Or premier in 1979, 1981, was Papa Rawlings by 1979 to 81, and Okoye then 2001 or signed under democracy. And the play very, very key and active role in the democracy of our land because being the first lady was serving the president, all this kind of war. Now I won't say idea and any penina any more that particular opportunity to be those kind of people. In the PNDC era, na mame Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and sana yeba beti NDC. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings played key and active role in it, involving the policy, advocacy, social programs. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings played key and active role in it. If I should say, nene da what is answering we are. Untimi Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings from the formation of NDC. A woman said on contain a political party along the point, but yet NDC no Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings play key and active role. But if Bimukra suggests say a katamanso the Chinese symbol of NDC no Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings actually proposed it. I would say these kind of things, and these are historical facts and data. I will say a can edition in the sometimes we as people and you be and it go straight as we all want because nipa does an idiot say obey papa no bonnet sometimes or shortcomings you might not even know it, but I catch it we will pinpoint it to you. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings played that an active role. If I talk 31st December Women's Movement and so Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings in a piece had in 1982. Into one of Ghana's most influential women organizations, which is the 31st December Women's Movement, and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and a lot of daycare centers across the length and breadth of our country. Me ko me krum tachiman na bi wo ho. Ure tachiman marketer daycare ne wo ho ni nyana na Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and ma efetige. Because the idea was say, ye ma they were not working. And as we be also my wo ba ntimi nye adwuma so na Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings made sure say ye better daycare centers all market circles in the country. Na ye de asom ye ma no mba because ko edwuma wotumi do ba ikuja daycare centers never ya hwe oba ma ukoba no asa babaje oba. You know all these kind of things. They say we need vision pa sebe untimi enye. So she actually promoted women's rights in education, in economics, in empowerment, in healthcare, and then a whole lot of things. In Ghana, met me a genesis piece what I can say. Yeah, mama ene umedi from 50s, 70s, 80s, be anyone and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings in a way I impacted no. That is a fact. I'll come back to some of the messages I want to about now. And so these are some of the things that we need to address them. No pap say her later decisions I don't agree with her, but the impact she had overshadowed her shortcomings. Yeah, that's true. That's what I'm trying to arrive at here. Yeah, any part maybe too I have my own shortfalls. Who only the shortcomings. And we need to understand the role she played. That one there intimate in most of the vocational trainings I know when and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings anyway Emma Edbaye. So she actually participated in politics and leadership in our country and ultimately free and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. So that is a fact and we need to do this kind of things. The third point was the advocacy for women's empowerment and gender equality. PNDC lo 111 bacho mo kai samra no na Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings they play a key role in that part kind of law. Unima bacho go back and Google search the PNDC law 111. Adia PNDC law 111 So the affirmative actions in Ghana politics to give women more opportunities in governance was being pivotal by the Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and the boss Agyemang. She published and she pushed for the establishment of the Ministry of Women and Children's Affairs, later renamed the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection. And Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings in the pushing you couldn't say years. So most of them I say a boy a man and quadano. And Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was advocating for that. And as I said earlier on, she was a founding member. Actually, in Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, I had a video and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings said she did not join NDC, but she formed NDC. Yet NDC, because we had a PNDC. So when Rawlings wanted to move from the military regime to democracy, then they had to form the NDC. And Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was there. So in 1992, Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings played an active role about NDC. And then throughout the nation, campaigning. Indeed, the Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings will trait to be Obibeka said Nikunu was a very charismatic person. But I also say that Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings also was a very charismatic woman. Opushi Nikunu. Ma omoye niyama bebree. So we need to praise her. Oye niyama bebree o mayinum. But then at the latter part of the day, so Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings koti ono angasa in the political party. Abra one Professor Atamels, equal premise, also Professor Mills, a beating and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. And Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings thought, no, I also need to form my own political party. So she formed her own political party called the NDP. But the people named NDP, I bring NDP, no. Former President J.J. Rawlings was also present, our NDP, I say. So that's the Democratic Party in 2012, and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and the thing, that time, no, na Abua Papon, we are friends Odi Kennedy Japonchi. He was also with Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. And the people in Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings say, Kofi Adams, Victor Smith, a whole bunch of them. Made me Ghana and Penny to be honest, time and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings at NDP. No one supporting the Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. Some of them might shock you, but anyway, that's politics. It's what your father is. Because sometimes the name of the you might think say we could in Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, but that is politics. Anything happens in politics. So Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings was the first woman to form a political party and then to run as a presidential candidate, the first woman in Ghana, and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. That is in 2016 election, and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings featured in it. Under her campaign, she was advocating for transparency, integrity, and women participation in national decision making. That was Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings. My man was was a play ruin a democracy. I don't know. Maybe a man or my banner. I don't know who might fit in the shoes of Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings, but let's see. Maybe somebody is gonna come back later. But for now, the Untimin. And I said, she was also an author and a publisher. And in the book, at the screen here, I was open the description of this particular video. Ubenya ebi ewo ho ato. So this is Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings' book. Nipo ibire adwin ni makan book ne da. Nti pacho so unya mbre nkwan na akoto bi na kan. Because she said a lot of things. Sometimes no one will say, yeah, papa, the current president a book nipo ibire enko kan ye. Pacho so ni ma train ma kan kwa take your time, go and read some of this kind of mpanyifo and some mpanyifo we kano. Ebi wo ha yenso your life you betim the shipi and kasa your life. Nti prebi kan book no me the link na to this particular description. Unya bi akan. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings also played a role in international representation and then advocacy. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings featured on various global platforms. Either say or speaker and I say like a lot of things in Africa, in everywhere we are seeing Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings played an active role. She also collaborated with the United Nations and African unions on programs supporting women and children. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings there sabe okay free how Ghana ya shape your system no wa enye ye minim ni pobet me atwene sin chen there. That is the truth. Because all kinds of credit and I can credit. Enye easy. Until for Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings also help communities projects in a lot of projects or support farmers, traders, small scale entrepreneurs, especially women. That one also no. Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings eboa magana itimi code through sa level no. Inti main moment there sende ye ma me afiri the only thing I make me can say will play a better role in our society. Although say some people might argue or disagree or some of the things at the latter part no yeah. But it was okay. Because who say when a President Rawlings if you Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings became so calm say how the system actually is a Ghana no you couldn't na Ghana for anymore but wo as a person no, but she did her part, she played her role, and that's exactly what I wanted to do. Until now you can say Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings is a member of parliament, Rawlings. All right, so Emily thinks that Rawlings can tap into that and then expose herself to the world, and I think Zenato is doing something like that, but not we are saying also be our style and yankopon at the bono. For that one day, I see a kind of be our how you go on the bono. And see, we almost say be a how and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings not here. Zenato might be trying, but I'm here on ne mame level no. Mame level no there. Obebre answer what do ho. Obebre pa. Emily say yes. Rawlings say when Nana of a friend Nana go. I will go, but she was campaigning for NDC. Yeah. Rawlings was NDC Rawlings there. But of course, Nana Rawlings has to follow Nana. What I say? But of course, we are not about bashing on the party NDC. Doesn't mean say Rawlings was totally for Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings or something like that. So powerhouse, you are right. Until you might end up, mommy, we need to go down, praise her, and then do a lot of stuff. What me I end what mine because mine we have a lot of people who be able to play the role of the current first lady and Nema or your Ghana na and also the partner no or Boani Kunu or Boagana or Boatima Mufuo because when you watch your Nema first lady here, some of them no so your Nema Kesia and also here. So each of them have their own roles to play. But the only thing said Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings then there as I started about Ghana kwani in democracy kra na a money any right. Then she brought up this kind of ideas and now I'm beginning up or say pushy here. Emma those ideas came into reality. Or say making sure the ideas stayed into she was doing something not extraordinary. At that time in Africa, quite few women even had those kind of ideas. Anyhow, now otimi pushy emaniema eba into reality no. But we are all people, we are all human. We be our nagbe how our person in so we cannot pick the Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings' rule to suit that of others. But of course, she did her part. And see, yebabo nabaso ene Nyankopon emfa ne kra ensie yi ba bia oda bia no Nyankopon emfa ne kra ensie kopem se bepe ne kra bia kasa na I think say abutua no ye mamu nyina ya akọ na Ghana fo nyina so na Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings ye maame yenso yenhye yenso ye ho ene. That is something we are going to say. Nana edaje embeba pati popo le popo samusrio samuswo edaje embeba pati popo le popo samusrio. All right, this is the debate with Munufie. We are Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings today. We are going back to active politics. But also all right, so let's do politics now. NPP4. Sometimes when I've been thinking, say, either say, omunim adia omoye, and I say, omunim adia omoye. Me pacho winim bibi. LGBTQ law no. What can I say? Ghana Parliament passes that law. The Koma President Nana Akufo-Addo say on assent to that particular law. No. Now when Madiba and Konadu Agyeman, former President Nana Akufo-Addo Then so by law no idea and say, maybe I'll bring you the constitution of the country. Now as a president here. Let me come down here and then bring you the constitution of the country. Because sometimes on the na but I want us to do this kind of thing. Now you hear the constitution of Ghana. Constitution idea was a president and this is years na me no nyina a discuss say ye be say ampa president is a kind no or yes ade no ana say wanye because President Nana Akufo-Addo sometimes Ghana no I just be a papa na ye because when he was the president sometimes I've been thinking say Nanado sheda and I say na unim and I say a dear potting Nanado eye if I show amenya adi we keto kakra. All right, in Ghana, you know, constitution is winning. Ghana constitution, no. But by the constitution of Ghana, Article 106, mode of exercising legislative powers. I mean, found call 106, you know. Let me try to see, say, meet me the word call. But be a can't and Semnan Kasa as a president, 106.7, exactly. Also, where a bill passed by Parliament is presented to the President for assent, but so you can't say assent. This particular assent in here, in the normal term, signature President, edibesi bill which amana Parliament pass law beyond a bill, but the President nyada the signature si so pa ababedan law. So let's in Also, where a bill is passed by Parliament is presented to the President for assent, he shall signify within 7 days after the presentation to the Speaker that he assents to the bill or that he refuses to assent to the bill. So what 106.7 can say? Say Parliament pass a bill we need the command President say on sign a mayor law. President was 7 days or sign no throw back to Speaker of Parliament too. Bill number by number sign abayamra and as a mean sign beam in mean sign. I mean to unless the bill has been referred by the President to the Council of States under Article 90 of this Constitution. The President who is saying he can also refer the bill back to the Council of States for advice. 8. Where the President refuses to assent to a bill, he shall within 14 days after the refusal. And 8, this is a President, say a bill no own sign or 14 days. Now 14 days, you know, within 14 days, I was a President, take your time and let's read all of them. A, state in a memorandum to the Speaker any specific provisions of the bill which, in his opinion, should be reconsidered by Parliament, including his recommendations for the amendments, if any. It's any say, President Yen say, be no more than you make kind yen on near maybe ma and queen to minimum yagenti and until Mensaya. It was a president actually the specific at the corona on an agreement in will be signed. That's our recommendation biana on children from comma Speaker. What I say? B. Inform the Speaker that he has referred the bill to the Council of State for consideration and comment under Article 90 of the Constitution. It is a president, so you're not going to say, bill, Yamadre, me come again to the monument, me, me, the Council of State within 14 days, and so both Speaker, man, they say, bill number the Bremen, me, assent here, but me, the Council of State, so almost on woman, now, yeah, me home. If I shall 9, anymore. Parliament shall reconsider a bill taking into account the comments made by the President or the Council of State, and as the case may be under Clause 8 of this article. And the President at the recommendation, but and I said the Council of State so the recommendation, but Parliament the best naso. There's a bobo recommendation on the bar, you know. That is 106.9. No. 10. Also, where a bill reconsidered under Clause 9 of this article is passed by Parliament by a resolution supported by the votes of not less than 2/3 of all the members of Parliament, the President shall assent to it within 30 days after the passing of the resolution. 10, they say, President is a kind of bill, no President there be me bibinti adiwe inti muya adiwe ya ena misa ba munya dia minsa Parliament besia tanaso biem no munya 2/3 majority of the Parliament na omonsa make the changes na President kan no no money within 30 days, no more time from president. Pacho, what's a say? Good. I'm better than my friends. You have my mouth, the breakdown. Now, Danko Akufo-Addo, former president, Parliament pass a bill in the command. No. Danko Akufo-Addo 14 days. He said, due to this, that, and that, in Tinibia means, I know. Adia President and Danko Akufo-Addo here, and they say, this is the first time I vote. So, unim that answer. Let's revise our memories. Now, Danko Akufo-Addo Saka bill now. No ma, the presidential secretary then. Now, not until be deal to a true letter. One I say, where do you mean you? You know, true letter. Now, letter no day I'm going in and go card and as until be there to your Parliament. What tell me about walk on the and they also oyare down. They are some. If I let all the comma Parliament in the Hono. Office of the President. Let them go 18th of March 2024. And Nana Santi be there too in his own handwriting, a type of kama and the comma the Parliament of Ghana. Transmission of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024. If I and I said that's what we home. But the moment was na menkai. Ebi and obi beka say pe boa enya that video too and the chroe. Tiure yina ye na nkurufo we udi o machi a NPP for o mai se sasabronsam no ono mu didi a o de sasabronsam didi a age se o patre tenten yes a o de nsa be wo wani o do nsa ko honso be kawo. It has come to the attention of this office that while the President and other senior officers of the presidency were at Peduase for cabinet retreat on Thursday, 14th March 2024, you attempted to submit the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024, the bill, to Jubilee House for the President to signify his assent or otherwise to the bill. Now, that's anti video to say. Many that's anti video to many presidents and do you say. Abra President nipa bi abo ma no Peduase lodge no. On 14th of March 2024, no more parliament till the wording of the what the bill be if the bill ever say president inside and as a president man inside president fan Agyemang as article 106.7 eba no ekano the same medical can chiro e wo soro hono. Also, this office is aware of 2 pending applications for an order of interlocutory injunctions, both filed on 7th March 2024 in the Supreme Court in Dr. Amande Odoi versus the Speaker of Parliament and the Attorney General and Richard Sky versus Parliament of Ghana. and so on, to restrain you, the parliament, from transmitting the bill to the president, and also to restrain the president from signifying his assent to the bill pending the final determination of the matter. And that's anti-media to say, Secretary Amadaberiano, Nipa a quum you be at the Sasimuyako court, Ako Supreme Court, that no sonoma and a teo. Enti, Sema president in sign signature ma diwe Emma Mayambra in the country. This was coming from Nana Santibi too. I said the Attorney General, by letter dated 18th of March 2024, informed the president that he has been duly served with both applications and has advised the president not to take any steps in relation to the bill until the matter raised by the suit are determined by the Supreme Court. So I say Attorney General, I can't hear President say, bill we want about money inside just the Supreme Court. It is It is the understanding of the office that both applications have also been duly served on Parliament. Therefore, I say court documents in the president in the Parliament, most of them can be as be there to know into Parliament. Also, no one say Parliament in the can be. Therefore, it will be improper for you to transmit the bill to the president and equally improper for the office to receive the bill under the Supreme Court until the Supreme Court determines the matter raised in the suit. To say, Nyansa Sembia Nimse, Esen Kamokra Madis a bill we a president na Abra Mumunimse Supreme Court in the Assembly year. Indeed, it is certain law that during the pendency of any interlocutory injunction applications, the status quo ante ought to be presented or preserved. I mean, that was the word that one can say here. And no action should be taken that will result in prejudicing the injunctive relief sought and undermining the authority of the court. In this instance, you are kindly requested to cease. But you had not said no one. Or see, because as a court in Yankan me and you know, men and us and be there to make catch them more to Parliament and the speaker can't say. You are kindly requested to cease and desist from transmitting the bill to the president until the matter before the Supreme Court is resolved. But you can't say cease and desist. But you say, oh, I'm more home musuko so that deal with Bebaha. So Supreme Court and come here, man more home musuko so that deal with Bebaha. But this was coming from Nana Asante Bidetru, Secretary to the President or the Commander, the Clerk of Parliament. But what I say? NPP for some of can and now for your mark and so on, or the way they bought President John Dramani Mama. Now that's until be there to the church secretary and the command Parliament and a speaker a can. I'm coming him. I am here. When a speaker to one speaker say, let me an until be there to the as we did Parliament at him. Because we ain't be that. Constitution is a constitution, Parliament, yen Supreme Court, a court to interpret it, executive, most Moshe Yash and Mudiso. Nay, Yashem Ravena Brewa, over catches say, court and Cassie, ye, Juma, may, ye, Juma. Tiasmo speaker Kai.
My attention was drawn to a letter issued by the Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Asante Bediatu, addressed to the Clerk to Parliament, which letter is clearly, in my opinion, contemptuous of Parliament. The letter outlined that the Clerk ought to, and I quote, cease and desist, unquote, from attempting to transmit the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024 to the President for necessary action in accordance with the provisions of our Constitution. In the said letter, the Executive Secretary indicated that the Office of the President was aware of two pending applications for an order of interlocutory injunction seeking to restrain the Clerk and Parliament from transmitting the bill to the President. It further indicated that the Honorable Attorney General had on 18th March 2024 informed the President that he had received the two applications and had advised the President not to take any step in relation to the bill until matters raised by the suit are determined by the Supreme Court. As a result, the President, via the Executive Secretary, conveyed to the clerk that it was unable to accept transmission of the bill. Honorable members, my attention has also been drawn to the 18th March 2024 letter from the Honorable Attorney General being referred to by the Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Asante Bediotuo above. In the said letter, that is the letter from the Attorney General, I note that the Attorney General used the phrase, and I quote, "I will respectfully advise that a decision to assent to the bill be made after the determination of the application for interlocutory injunction," unquote, and not an advice to the President not to receive the bill from Parliament. It is therefore interesting that in view of this clear and unambiguous advice from the Attorney General, which I disagree with, to the President has rather chosen not to accept the bill. In the face of these developments, it is important for us as a House to reflect upon the manner in which these events have unfolded. On the 28th of February 2024, this August House took a decisive step in passing the bill, a move that was the culmination of rigorous debate, thoughtful deliberations, and the collective will of the representatives of the people. Following this, the bill underwent the customary process of cross-checking, which is an important procedure designed to ensure that all amendments and changes proposed during the legislative process were accurately incorporated. After the successful processes were done with, the Clerk to Parliament, fulfilling his duties as the procedural intermediary between the legislative and executive branches, endeavored to send the bill to the President in accordance with Section 5 of the Interpretation Act 2009.
What I say? And the speaker say, let her now. Momo can want to me. I'm a bit surprised. Why will the President think say, "Oh, na nasanti be do to who say a contempt of Parliament"? Say, "Oh, near ope," and I will be catching. Say, "My yem fat bill." You don't even want to see one person when you could have been. President sees and resist is bordering on a threat using legal language. Yeah, because it's like, how can the whole Parliament of Ghana sit, pass a bill, send it to the President, and then the Secretary to the President will tell them, say, they should desist from even sending that particular bill to the President. Ghana and Sama goes, oh, now them say, I'm so I mean, can't be so chill. I'm so how, and 7 on their doors on. Binumoha, or winning. Let away buy, as anybody there to do the buy, a ho. And a clerk to the Parliament or clerk of Parliament, a sign should be able to come out bizarre. Now, be there to say on April 10th, 2024, or the command secretary to the President, and that's be there too. Or see, dear Secretary to the President, let me take my time and then we read it. The BBC was a dinner NP before and there, but shift assembly Kugu, President John Dominic Mamaso. into or refer no transmission of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2024 now letter na the Bremen no and also reply no. Or say clerk to the parliament and signed it later we call it. You have no response by. I'm writing to acknowledge receipt of your letter number OPS 140 dated 18th of March 2024 on the above subject matter and received in my office of 19th of March 2024. Clerk to parliament too may acknowledge or letter now with this reference number dated on this particular day. 2. I have taken note of the content of the letter, particularly the context in the last paragraph, which states that in the circumstances you are kindly requested to cease and desist from transmitting the bill to the president until matter before the Supreme Court are resolved. Or say, or letter na the Bremen. The latter part na see on I didn't know into the reply. Accordingly, I await indications in writing from your office on when to present the Human Sexual Rights Bill to His Excellency the President for a consideration pursuant to Article 1067 of the Constitution 1982. Or say, who can't you say, Mamma Fama Nucura Molete with some Fama Nucura Motem the letter be bro? What can Mati? And to me, could I be so say that Ben Ufi say, President the Bear ready 7 fast bill and San Breno for his consideration. Or pay Vice President. So no Vice President Kro, I like you to tell Mudu Bomia, a copeno. Speaker of Parliament, boy about minority, about Attorney General, about Chief of Staff, you know, no inside there, there was no response. No, absolutely no response. And then me continue mania after your markings, agent Parliament, Tiasma Walker.
Mr. Speaker, the bill was suffocating government at the time. We were in difficult situation. We pleaded with our colleagues that please, let's manage this situation. They said no. Today, you are in government. You've realized that you don't need LGBT. You see, this is like a scorpion sitting on a shivling. That scorpion, you place it on that shivling. That scorpion, that LGBT scorpion, you place it on that shivling. Whether you like it or not, you like it. Majority Leader, you stay away from this matter. You've had your bite. Mr. Speaker, it's okay. Leader, you say Mr. Speaker is not around. You say the clerk to Parliament is not around. I would oblige you. Now, Sasabun some cry 1,000 years. Mr. Speaker will come next week.
But you are offending our rules.
Oh, Mr. Speaker, I'm explaining.
Whatever you say,
I will translate.
You have to translate.
Mr. Speaker, even if we give them 1,000 years, 1,000 years will come.
Very well.
So, leader of government, it's okay. It's okay. What do you want to say again? You want to do your variation of order. You want to vary. You supported, you were in the middle bank. You were their chief legal advisor. You supported it. Now you are running away. Mr. Speaker, it's okay. It's okay. Mr. Speaker will come next week. Reverend, definitely next week will come. God will give us life. Whether you like it or not, that bill, you pass it. And use your super majority to reject it. The education minister needs grants. He needs foreign aid. He needs support for his ministry. Now, do you like LGBT or not? You are vying for vice. You are vying for running mate. Do you like LGBT or not?
Tie. Ghana no na do sa no. Ghana baby e de Ghana do no. Afenya markings mo adwen say, okay, once waba, say enya wo. Nti wo pe mo be sign. Forgetting say they had that brilliant opportunity. Abela Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo was the president, and he after Markins was the parliament majority leader, and he refused to allow the president to respect the will of parliament and, for that matter, the representatives of the people. Sometimes the meaning politics na your Ghana na just be a sense social to go be so. No sebe almost because it seems to say when they are in power they sing different song, and then when they get to opposition they sing different song. Sometimes mentiase pa party back on say NPP one way your opposition here mo better na papa one way your better opposition or actually because some of the things I'm saying Ghana for do know say it make sense mo free akonwa so 10 months in it bill how many months did it last for you to sign you couldn't sign say the amount for them could sign the car and then one will say well, your market you have the audacity to stand on the floor of the parliament to tell Ghanaians and say except President John Dramani Mahama change will sign this particular bill right. Okay, yate. Someone been taking Ghana for your Jimmy, right? Niminyansa, and I have better now. And I Ghana for a yam to say, oh, yodum, na moye. O better now, watch papa. Opposition, they be nim quiet for some before. Because if this is how you people think and quite any opposition, papa. President Nana Addo Dankwa had a brilliant chance. And no, na momo as a much letter to come out parliament. And one say parliament did that bill. Because the president in any could and then the Agyemang, you want the president to see it, right? I mean, because 14 days in the term, 14 days in the president, if he can't be before home, assign the parliament and a parliament bear ratification or whatever, or amendment or whatever, 30 days here. A term, how many months now? From 2024, no, March, no, it be seeing there. A good 1 year come, so we need to go and start it afresh. That is why I'm still here at the best parliament. Ghana for the president is going to reset the country to reset the mindset of the people. I'm a young papa any bonnet. So when you're ready there, don't even come near because sometimes you people are more gumo because money must too much. Gumo must. I look at what they say. I say we're trebi, and I'm about trebi because more gumo when you must papa. I look at. After your market, sometimes the guy is so boring. Say, "What being a I want to say." As I being na, my name is why being man aburusu. So why do you may have no idea? Sometimes I've been thinking, if these are the so-called people are Ghana pie, you don't be booming that then Ghana will have a problem. Your problem, papa. Because mine a team they seem to say be more mine a quick on 10 and no mama chili and I agree kito mono so agree so enya juma. That is what I've been thinking. And the meaning I look no ya as any penetrebi. Minima the Kuromoko Parliament or Mokonom de. Ebi no more adi or monom na the kono or mon country ya cano. Yes, yet the Jenny anima, they will take it like that. And I'm a aye, NPP party. Guys. Party way there's a party way near Abuja for as I would that say now to one soon. Because one soon a major problem in the society. Ghana never quite no one. Baby, I didn't mind a president by almost speed. I didn't mind a I say how more because party is with him. More problem more. I'm on Tiasa as a one cry. NPP as a party. Hey, and then who news to be I don't even know what they think. I don't even know what they think. Say, you're a domelevo. I can't say me. And then NPP media, you know, pick his na ora anokra. What it is, some domelevo. Okay, listen to you very very carefully.
To say that I remember Supreme Court say pay, but it took some time. I don't know up to now whether it has fully been paid. So winning the case is one thing, but recovering it is a different ball game. So I completely agree with the Deputy Attorney General that yes, as for us, we just collected data and summed it up. We didn't do any investigation. A preliminary investigation even may show that some of the complaints were just noise. There's nothing in it, but we collected the data as it is, so including the garbage. So if he has taken time to look at it and maybe based upon some preliminary investigation and think it's on the high side, I do not disagree with him.
Did you just use the word including garbage?
Yes, because at times people, in fact, nobody came to us that we turn away and say, yes, we will not take your information. So we collected all the information. Remember, we're not investigating. So when you come, we are not going to say that Mr. Mensah substantiate what you are saying. So you just come and say that I know Mr. Maliba is involved.
Epacho, uti ezemniye. And some year ya odomolovo say, orano. People were bringing in a lot of evidences, a lot of data into a more gisa because orano was not an investigative body. Ghana and Attorney General Quantity Prosecuting Department. And the ORA gets the data and then analyze it by themselves. And then normally they come out buying and not buying no nipa. Attorney General Mawi nipa you be prosecute no any nipa yem prosecute no. And the ebi wo kwa na ye bosire muka. Te se bia meti hey obi abetima gina baabi. aka asama to me so akwa wi aponche nti monje nkrata we nkwe ebeto ba so ono ankasa kwa na ayeden atworo se me de Ghana football ya o UK a sebe yesi wakọ repum ba ya Emma 5 and then asem ko police station some of them call police for who say man ankasa na say create another WhatsApp platform ama mo ankasa won mo ade chat to say ono no mo chat so some of them call police for who say mo asem we kwa enim also na police for the can do data na e da ba say onipa 5 about report say o crash no wato mo na but when they did the investigation they saw say there was nothing like that. And the Yaudo say, and Krata, some of them were just chunk. I said, what the FNE be or email but data and answer information on that brain. Now there was nothing substantial in it. NPP for media and as for you so Monty with that. And I quite not to some George Visa and say, I say, comprehensive a problem, man. Question up, I saw panic and beside and say, over such as say, a data and ora when ya know, then ya the papa and answer it, whatever tea, as well, Obisa, Tiasmo Obisa.
Ball game. So I completely agree with the Deputy Attorney General that yes, as for us, we just collected data and summed it up. We didn't do any investigation. A preliminary investigation even may show that some of the complaints were just noise. There's nothing in it. But we collected the data as it is, so including the garbage. So if he has taken time to look at it and maybe based upon some preliminary investigation and think it's on the high side, I do not disagree with him.
Did you just use the word including garbage?
Collected the data as it is, so including the garbage. So if he has taken time to look at it and maybe based upon some preliminary investigation and think it's on the high side, I do not disagree with him.
Did you just use the word including garbage?
Yes, because at times people, in fact, nobody came to us that we turn away and say, yes, we will not take your information. So we collected all the information. Remember, we are not investigating. So when you come, we are not going to say that Mr. Mensah substantiate what you.
This is common sense. I say, Nipa Unimachi, Nimakin Biana, as I would say. And then, as some way, now by a topical issue for NPP form, we discuss it, and all information on my hey, Ghana, journalist, pan to say, I'm much in match in Mackin kind. Say, I'm also more NPP say, we intimate me with any paba. Now, so all around it on what they say, we are police in prosecution when the case is browa. Case one study as another court. Also, when another son of court. A few okay, the assembly crowd ball. Oh, police station where I can't just say there be assembly you can do a throw. And I say it doesn't make sense. Compare where bitina. And I court correct you boni pantuku. Let alone Orana, na investigative body. Their only duty was to get information for the president and the president in the attorney general. When I'm on TV that. Hey, NB4. But no position, papa. Because man who's a common sense in Ghana. As the baby, any be. I've been a young I've been a hata. Anyway, we have four. This is the debate with Munufi Medini William Munufi Amam. When I said, and the day they can't have me no subscribe. Yeah, if I will wait me, I subscribe. I'm my boy. Now, Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings book no torture and so the link now to the description of this particular video. Sounds na wa pay adie bi ato we me man kwa de meka me man de asauti ase. And so the links no nyina our description of this particular video. This one the Madiki can say you two different kinds of links, US link and Europe link. Inti ubetima add pages any of them from any of these particular links. And also it's also possible to say ubetimi enya bi ato. Mohammed Asemeba debi. You wonder what the NPP is going to stand on next election. Any on bebre papa. On bebre too. So I was going about your app. You say, download the educational app. It's free app. You don't need even internet to go through. Download here internet. A friend EduSoft Pasco here. All past questions of BCE and SSC in our also. So but you bet me I downloading so. I don't mind. Mohammed Ali, you have a code there. And yeah, is the NPP party in the go. Anyway, for this is the debate with Munufi. Send the BR a canon. All right, my first and Konadu Agyeman-Rawlings and any former President J.J. Rawlings a dear side me so say ne almost had to asana so. Ewo asamando. Let's sometimes that is how I also want to do things. Odike e can asem bi na no. Pacho so woni Odike. Na Odike can asem no. Media no e man a caption bi. And when I saw that particular caption, obviously Odike say Ghanaian businesses do not want currency to come down, but they want stable currency. That was how the media and the caption Odike say. Odike say Ghana businessmen and can say me pay. Say currency, which is the dollar in the euro rate was for Emra form, but they want it stable. And I was thinking, I didn't say Odike can. And then today I got a whole video. I want Sema Odike Ekai. Which in a way I do agree with Odike. But sometimes in a media and the way they reportage or they represent or they report things, one way you might get different understanding about some porting in the Pakono Ekai. Odike, I don't like Odike by 100%. Sometimes he says some things or does some things I don't agree with him. But this time around, I believe in what Odike is saying. Say Ghana, you might say China needs to imagine Ghana. Emeton cocoa on the streets of Ghana, Enton Kalawele, Enton diaper, Enton chinchinga. Then we are having a problem. How are we going to compete with China here? Sebe, Oton Gari. Because only the no Nepal go on a pro Ghana and then they have the capital. Ekitoma Ghana ni enibi. Into the cases here, must China force opportunity to on Babe collapse economy no. Undermining the 24 hours economic policy of President Diabase. Or better Ghana and Kwayembi Yankasa industries. Nipa 3 on one set. We quite on a par and you may know upon we are caught to home at channel. Or the cases here really ya the problem bebre. And then the media no a twisty as some of the Kikano. If I told it in some of the Kikano, I said, we are not in the Yadrian. You tell me.
The be policy cannibalism. Say, wow, the policy, but no sacrifice policy, but be good policy now. Who preach say, a papa. So, you're mama, and your mama who preach these days. Me who say, on one policies or so they beg and a year. On one sacrifice policies are ever be guno. Yenya shasi a cry. Maybe it's a 24-hour economy. A demand driven. It has been anchored by private sector. A anchored yuma nan kaniti trupa industrialization. And I'm the mentias yo. Na tutu kwa aman bebre so. Crown we are 24-hour economy no. A heavily industrialized nations. Sure. I times or say president to launch 1.5 billion free zone industrial park tomorrow to boost 24-hour economy. America for the Germany China for your trade war no and they say so we move products from China. Ama China taking over from them. Donald Trump, as a businessman, who say the employment aspect of their economy, no, akwa kodi China. It won't be free China. I don't person or reverse no. And you know this a tariffs not to say
high tariffs
between Omune China. Say Chinese company who produce what they about American, who bet you 24%. Say Opeso Onyamaba America now avoid 24% now. Relocate to industry about America. A tax free. A perfect idea. But a man Benediano, a counterproductive. Unim a loose win arrangements between China and Ghana. Yay, a beguya human, including on one the auto 24-hour economy. Say, Omaya, we're heavily industrialized. So I also when in a zero tariff arrangements at the Chinese say, what be the flat gate? So Fed women now at the same time, a babe kele local industries, including 24-hour economy now, or Fed Okolonji, a home industrial park. My sister, or maybe I bought name mine for get the home buying.
Okay.
So share Ghana corporate businesses in Akodia. Ejuma kakake wo kromo nyina ho dia. very dangerous for the security of this nation. Mama etwaso asama ne manom tonya ma o makola uko China mo am that person singlet ni nyama ketekete ana uko kan hia man ko fa betu no ene wo mu retain o China mo say Ghana for ma do na no mu ko kwan so ma banyin dada ko for peso na ye mo muska soft loans mo etimi ko Dubai ni China ko fa nyama ba no say China mo no abete over na de ya kura ne say existing malls na wo kroma no Ghana pedifo ni wo mu ya ba ko say mo fa nko tare existing mall no ho na ngu de ho dada no hwe the sprinters dey mo say ben aka mo pa
ben pa walking distance
uko kuma se a atonsu e de a e wo ho no ene kuma se mo no ben pa o ma sa ben ba ko Santa so run about eno so e ben more no it almost strategically no o ma do so obu be yi Ghana fo afri nyuma ye no no ma take over and pen for so e boa wo na say in boxing obi o ye featherweight oni featherweight na ekon obi o ye bantamweight oni bantamweight na ekon adenti na ye nye industrialized now pese oni obi a na basamu odu sen ye wo production eko sa nhehye yo no
aden so ne ye hwe say yeso ye production ye be pagem na ye de be ko China.
The reason being that China is way ahead of us. In business sense, you know, say opese o come to come apart with China. Akoko minua president. You come ye industrialize Ghana. E kwa mo fa so mo di industrialize ya no. Ye pese ye replicate e bi wo Ghana. Ento adaroma. Ukromfo ne de nyama ya wie na beton we krom. Yem penisa ye pese wo mo de technology ne ba said America for the brand mo no. Wo so mo fa technology ne bi maye. Na yentimi nye production wa ha. Na yesu yentimi fa bi nko other countries nkoton. Wa anya ne sa. Wo se yo mo produce we no. O mo meton no free without taxation. Na na kill local industries. It will be our own factories afa ye hwe the gentleman compete no. You try over 27% interest. Now say about for no
on our loans.
It we could do 45 to 50%. It is how say who person who gain edge in the global market competition now. And easy. Sika wo di production ankasa no. Emma kwa ma untimi for nyama kwa bonten koton. It we there was say and say America for take these steps no. I was say follow suit. Near the quarter to 2%. Now block the influx of foreign goods. Now they empower local production.
Okay.
What I say? Now who could be a quanator? Say woman someone did China 5 minutes. China 5 minutes to me and Pabwa. Factory balcon. Within 5 minutes, we to me complete shoes. Marku 50,000. 5 minutes.
Yes.
Production line on my set, no. A more of automation. It do not say nam so sir. Now say what say there is uncle for be ko odwadi mu a. President Mama, I am beginning to feel say as you say can come in industries and na yadia ugu no. Now, we focus. As I say, yama dollar mla from so that amount for anybody is not true. Eh? Or maybe our person we effective production. No? Any class of currency we edu. China, a typical example. But consistency a general factor. For be of 10 years, 5 years, China not rate no the Ghanaian businesses needs a stagnant your friend saying
or stabilized
forest. And your fluctuation and more businesses are suffering under this system. Your mama said, go for my advice. No, what China now could pay Bibia Bregana for? I
was so reverse agreement.
Yeah, I was saying you impose more tariffs to protect local industries.
Okay.
Now, some Agyemang be a plateau already, and engines can't afford engines, Babu, so kind. So the corporate must be corporate. Oh, abasi form ama bodwa
social media crowd omo ton omo ankasa nneema no ho retail na fe do omo si form ankasa
me sitie me call pap bi e okumase e popular for plus 2 me call na channel ni get okuta nneema ya packaging hi come ko ya waye kebab no so dia di dua wo mu bi esincha wo mu toton wo mu aye busy nam say how much no yi wo de gubo sa disposable bowl mu was 70 cedis for curiosity nam tuanaka China ni business pop elton
kebab yes
wabra retail is strictly for indigenous Ghanaians but your mama what's up with now say we launch a free zone in a gomoa and on another breath only na wo ye so e begu free zone we wo start here any na wo twini na begu because what my channel for kwan say wo munya ma no prepare wi munya wo mo e to piti wi ase no wo mo fa megu Ghana enti onwene hu biem na say onko negotiation onko win-win
no. All right, enti these were the things that Odike Ekanye. I said the president said, "Okay, negotiation. Go on a win-win." Yes, you come a China ni yes, abe ton kebab e Ghana. Because you Ghana na China ni ton kebab then and then e Ghana. China need to make crackers in the Ghana. E ton engines e Ghana. E ton gari e Ghana. Spare parts e Ghana. Diapers, pampers. China need ton Ghana. Then Ghana ni so babe. But these were the things that Odike Ekanye. So who TNS ni ya? Or say. I was say your currency no ejina faako na your money on console so kese for that I do agree 100% with him because in there but currency na say the dollar bar 10 point something then I 11 point something then 12 now about 10 wow we business we sika na eche that is honest truth Priscilla we do the keep watching the hours of Winyasimo. Priscilla say, I'm kind of message. Also, it's annoying when some of these men become so wise when this is in power. But I mean, when any people say, Odike can be come as my man, it's in the Odike. They say, they always say, any say about a free range, you wait me a casa. Tina, no, ye Qatar, no, no, Kumase. But anyway, sometimes what I do is say, and some more kind I take substance from what they are talking about. These are some of the things that, to be honest, not what they've been doing. So Al-Hassan said, what do the case said? Let me bring Al-Hassan's message here so that we all see it now for the any Al-Hassan so any income. Oh, all right. So this is my comment. Al-Hassan Tahiru said, what do the case said is not entirely true. The 0% tariff is a win-win situation, whether tariff or no tariff between Ghana and China. China is way ahead of Ghana, even America in terms of production. So that is what he was saying there. So they're going to kill Ghanaian businesses. Tahiru, how do you think about this? They said, okay, China needs to be Ghana, beton, kalawuli, beton, chinchinga. Now China needs to be production for China. I should pay the banana the next 2 days. Do have no about total no one need to why and idea for. We can think about this as well. And Atahiru we can think about it and see say why and idea for. Chiti say the case is striking. With the girl who received government funds and neglected to apply them to the intended cause is not making such statements. Also, because you cannot. The way we give to people, sometimes they have make a crack. So this government is doing that, but we should let them breathe. They are trying to find their feet after the total destruction of our economy by NPP. President, that's true. But when you are also trying to find your feet, one of the case proposing say we need to do things in a manner. Emma, by the time you gain grounds on us, none may be educated. Or what do you think? Say the currency no 10 cities, so China got 12 cities, now about 10 cities, now 11 cities. Don't you think this pay me to be a debate stabilizer? It makes more sense. Or what do you think? I don't know. In the comment section, we'll be the Wagrin Chirabane discuss it. Al-Hassan say, And last one, good. What Ghana needs to do is to increase production to bridge balance of trade gap between China. But how are you going to do it? Because Ghana population, and they're looking at the industries here, very, very few. They send our council. Ghana so at the business. You hit about 28 to 30% interest rate. Abra will be or no, or China and as a way Europe is hitting between 2 and 6%. How are you going to balance it? And how maybe it will mean you think that we're going to do this kind of things. Because sometimes you're really young, some people who are but making it more practical, so not bad problem as a people. That is what I also think sometimes. But maybe who are being a bit fizzy, a bit me, so you can also say it because sometimes the president and his administrators and also need some kind of advice from some of us. On money being so anymore. So we can also help them based on those kind of things. And I say now what I say. All right, so this is the debate with Munufi. Minim say ne nyame aduma me de bisi wo ha won. Na ochena e besi aba. For sure say enyina e vim say ne de bia e bompa say e benya more vim na e de ayi bibia no. Nti no Presala Al Hassan Tahiru Chiti Chata Alote Boaten Sister Maggie, and then me see her say okay, well, all right, Mate Emily, that's it. When you know my they say what to me, I join here because sometimes when we hit like this, I hear when you know my drink and I feel it. Yet me the Agyemang kwenu Emily, Bibi Aboko. Nice. I mean here today I got a lot of you. Kwame Agyemang, why are they? You know, you've been doing a lot. Kadri, you back on the show, right? You my boy, Powerhouse was also there. Well, my modi no pap now they're cheme. My modi and pacho for cheme. Sometimes I know yana seven also. Any Amani. Say if I got your name right in Kwada, any Amani. So me the money na say. Me the pamuno e beti kita na fide. Jefferson, what is saying? E beti kita na fide. Me e be say that family gathering pa na obi abeba show we so. Obi aka na adventure. Nti me so wa hwe bi ano lazy boot. Data movie say bit my say Agyemang man kan kire me. We all come live. Na fide ya bobo uncommon album. Abo uncommon kwa sa na be no business for. Anyway, nti me da say. Yeah, criticism makes sense coming from us. Yeah, that's true. Not from those who actively destroy Ghana. When they came with the answer, patapano mama de tema anymore. Until I don't know. When you chance to be patapano on the ball. So President, take your time. You have live on the show. I'll send you links. Let's discuss in the comment section. And we will come back as a family. Now if you have a bone come one day, so China should only be allowed to establish industries. Yes, on beton chinchinga, and yes, sir. Because China, they would China or no beton color only in Ama or ton chinchinga, not ton color only, but you're the hen open. And can you? All right, so there will be asking. Yami Admo China will be back on the show again. After the Abon Komana Bumon, we have more gospel kakra. If I see Yami in Munyam.